Just finishing off a smoothie, and it doesn't look that good, but three ingredients to the smoothie: dates, carrot powder, this is from Buy Whole Foods online for people in the UK, and water just blended together. Sweet chocolatey smoothie for those who like that kind of thing. So, and when you're drinking a smoothie like that, you sort of think, why would anyone struggle to eat healthier or eat a raw food diet or whatever? It just seems so easy, I guess. But what a lot of people struggle with, I wanted to speak about, is the fact that you see a lot of people coming into the lifestyle and they maybe get some of the benefits and everything, but they very quickly start to worry about supplementation and worry about they're not getting enough of whatever, and they just get really concerned about all these issues. I'm not going to say they're minor issues, but the problem with when you start to go down so deeply into all that kind of detail, it's hard to find really where the fact is and where the fiction is and where what are the things that are really important. You know, it's really important for your health that you eat a diet that's low in saturated fat, so that you don't get heart disease and all the other problems associated with it. It's important to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables for your health. But when we go into like more specific details, it gets confusing, and I don't know if there's enough information out there and enough science to really back up a lot of the things that people that are recommending supplements and recommended things are finding. And supplements are the same as medicines. That there's this thing, the placebo effect, which is, if you don't know, I'm sure you do know, but when you give someone a pill, even if it's a sugar pill or a pill with nothing in it, if someone believes it's going to do them some good, they generally get well better than people that won't take the placebo. So that has to be taken into account in medicine and stuff, and in these tests. And there's a lot of that going on with supplementation, I think, and it just annoys me when people focus on these small details and start to worry about, is this organic, is that organic, is it GMO, is it all these things. Once again, I'm not saying that these aren't potentially pretty big issues and things you should be concerned about, but that's not going to help you. To focus on that kind of stuff is not going to help you get your diet in order. If you're still doing that, you're still resisting the whole process. It's like me offering strawberries to a person and them asking me, are these organic? And I'm thinking of a particular friend that I had that experience with, where I was offering, that I had some strawberries with me, and they were like, oh, are those organic? And they were kind of like a bit worried about taking them, and I'm thinking, from my experience of being hanging out with a friend, I'm thinking, well, when you were in the Indian restaurant, were you asking them if all their food, if they were preparing everything organic? You know, when you were eating the Indian curry or the whatever fast food that they'd ordered or whatever. So people will apply these kind of weird rules to fruits and vegetables. They think that somehow maybe the whole cooking process, that will somehow limit the problems of pesticides and all that. So it's these kind of things that I'm talking about, that people just focusing their energy in the wrong place, focusing their attention. And everyone who's done this kind of lifestyle, you're not going to feel like Superman all the time. You're going to have times where you feel down or feel not as good, or bad things happened, but that is not, probably the vast majority of the time, that's nothing to do with your diet. If you're eating a really bad diet, it potentially is, but if you're going towards this much better diet than you've ever had in your in your lifetime, and then you have a period where you're feeling fatigued, you've got to start to trust. This is when you have to sort of start to trust the whole thing, and trusting your body as well. I remember my friend Dr. Robert Lockhart, who's a raw food promoter and a chiropractor from Australia. And one time I was speaking with him. We were on the way to the Woodstock Festival, sitting in a car, in the back of Bill's car. Bill's probably watching this, maybe. And so that's a shout out to Bill. But Robert was saying, people just can't trust their instincts in their own body. They just won't trust. They just won't trust they won't trust like their body telling them, right, I'm hungry now, or I'm not hungry, or I don't want to eat right now. They won't trust it. They start overthinking it too much. So that's what you have to develop, is an ease and a trust in it, and get to that point where you realise if you're not feeling great or something bad's happening, start to look at the other aspects of your life, your relationships, your employment, your other habits, your sleeping, and start asking, and the material that you're listening to, everything you're surrounding yourself with, and start to look at these other places that these issues are being brought up. Really, you want to get your diet somewhere around the best it can be, and then leave that alone, and don't remain the rest of your life focusing on the exact details of your diet. I still think the best program is the 80-10-10 diet. People want to do all sort of different, going to be fruitarian for a while, just eat fruit, or I'm just going to have I'll go raw, but I'll eat higher fat percentage, or Rosalfor or anything else. But the 80-10-10 program, as far as I can see, is the best thing. And I'm not saying that I personally hit that every single day, that I'm always 80-10-10, but that's always in my mind, as that's pretty much as ideal as it's getting. And it's obviously a great book to read and everything. So that's just my thoughts on trying to develop more ease. And if you're thinking that you're feeling fatigue or depression or something because of your diet, I don't think that's likely. And I think some people have really diagnosed themselves with problems and went and supplemented and done things, and then they say, I feel much better now, or they go to a person that recommends them to supplement and they say, I'm feeling so much different or so much better, and we really don't know enough to say that wasn't just time in their body that sorted the issue out. So yeah, I've not supplemented anything yet. I had no supplements on this lifestyle. I'm very wary of using most supplements. Vitamin B12 is something that has been an issue for people, or can be an issue, so I don't discard that. But when it comes to things like vitamin D, iodine, K2, and on and on and on, it's and another thing is I'm not looking to supplement. I'm going to eat this for selenium, or I'm going to eat this to make sure I get enough. I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables. I'm going to eat the best foods that I can get, and that's as good as you can do. What else are you going to do? You can't eat the second best foods and think you're going to get a better result from doing that. And supplements are not better than food. The last thing to end on is the topic of soil, and how people will say, well, the food we're eating now is not as nutritious, it's not as full with nutrients because the soil has been damaged. And the answer I heard from Doug Graham, from a recording that he'd made, is the fact that, you know, fruit trees, well, the first thing he said was that the damage that's been done is to the topsoil, but fruit trees and nut trees get their nutrients from much lower in the soil. So when you're eating fruit and you're getting the majority of your calories from food that has been grown from soil that is deep, deep in the earth that these trees are reaching down into the soil that hasn't been degraded and degenerated as much. So once again, what's the alternative to eating the fruits and everything that are getting the soil from is deep down in the earth, where it's not been as tainted by modern society as other things have. So it's worth developing confidence in the diet and the lifestyle, and not getting freaked out, and just realising that you're gonna naturally have a resistance to it, because you've been told all your life that you need to eat a certain way, you need to eat certain things, and when you find out that that's not correct, and when you live it for years and you prove it to yourself, then you know, that's when you develop confidence. You don't, and when people are saying, what about this supplement, what about that, you're just not concerned as much anymore, personally. So that's my feelings on that, but I'm always open to continually learning. You can feel free to tell me anything you want, or comment, or tell me I'm wrong, or whatever, your own experiences. But for now, I'm happy to eat dates, you know, for a while, or bananas for a while, or whatever else. And I eat quite a good variety of food as well. I don't eat just one thing. I'm not a mono meal eater or something, but I just eat as much, you know, fruits and vegetables, whatever I like, and I stay quite objective, try and keep fat levels down and stuff like that. But sometimes I binge on that too, so continually making improvements, and that's what you should do as well. So thanks for listening. If you're interested in learning some more, you can connect with me at my own website, fruityronster.com. You can sign up there, and I send out emails quite regularly, just some of my thoughts and experiences and stuff on this lifestyle, so you can go and sign up there and get those emails. And wishing you all a good day. Thanks for listening.